Hello, good morning, everyone. All right. So, hello. Um, okay. Good morning. Welcome to our StackTrek career session with the topic common mistakes tech applicants make and how to avoid them. All right. So, hello to our viewers in Facebook and YouTube. So, for to confirm your attendance, I would like to request you to type in your name and the place that you are watching from there. Once again, welcome. By the way, I am Isai and I will be your host for this morning's career session. I know you are all excited not to hear from our panelists for this morning, no, and learn about say ano ba yung mga common mistakes that applicants usually make. So can I know kung sino ba yung mga students or professionals, career shifters or graduating students here from our viewers? Just simply type in career shifter, or baka you are still in school, third year? Are you a student or are you a professional already? So that we would know. Okay. And also, okay. So I am seeing people here from Pagadian, Antique. We have from La Union and Cavite. Okay, we have here one career shifter. Hello, and that is Patrick Henry. Wow, galing. How about the others? Okay. And to also help us no reach more interested individuals no na parang oy si ano may friend pala ako na who would like to take a career in tech, baka this would be something very helpful sa kanya. So kindly share our live, no? Just simply tap that share button. Okay, so we also have here si Kenon. Kenon is also a career shifter. It's great to have you this morning. So for this morning, by the way, if you have any questions during our discussion, feel free to type them in the comment section. Okay, so anything that you would like to ask from our panelists this morning. Okay, we have Tom. Tom is actually a professional and a career shifter. Oh, that's good to hear. We have from Davao, which is also a career shifter also. Oh, galing. Sino ba yung, baka may taga Visayas? Gusto ko kasi may taga Luzon, Visayas, tsaka Mindanao na nanonood sa mga sessions natin. Baka may taga Visayas dyan. Okay, don't forget to type in your name and the place that you are watching from. And for those, for our viewers this morning, so if ano pa lang, if you are still on the stage of thinking of shifting a career, no, in tech and don't know where to start yet. So we will be having an info session later about our StackTrek bootcamp. So if you are interested to pursue a career in tech and be one of the highest paid professional in the country, so this bootcamp might be something for you. Okay, we have Lloyd from Iligan. We also have a career shifter, Ciziel from Cavite. Welcome to our career session this morning. All right. Okay. So let us not delay this any further. So I would like to introduce to you our panelists. Okay. So unfortunately, one of our panelists would not be able to make it this morning, but we are still very grateful for having our panelist from Solutions Resource. She is the HR consultant at Solutions Resource. Everyone, I would like to welcome Miss Maria Ruth Centeno Maliari. Here. Hi, Miss Ruth. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Okay, so Miss Ruth, so based from our ano no, there are madaming career shifters. So um right now. So baka may mga students then let us know so that we would be able then to identify you. All right. So to start, Miss Ruth, thank you so much no for your time this morning and for the knowledge that you will be imparting to our viewers and participants for this morning. All right. So before we start, Miss Ruth, can you give a quick overview, siguro an introduction of yourself, ano yung ginagawa mo in the company and what are the company the things that the company are doing right now?
Thank you, Miss Isay. Hi, good morning everyone. Hindi ko nakikita yung mga participants natin. So, by the way, again, good morning. I'm Miss Ruth Centeno. So, I've been with Solutions Resource Incorporated as an HR consultant or management consultant since 2016. So, we've been doing IT development, so more on the mobile, web development, and also we do manpower augmentation. So more likely it's more on the programming side. And plus, we also added in our services is the manpower augmentation, as I've said, and we deploy people, technical people to our partners. So that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. So you are open to hiring developers, tama?
Yes, yes, we do.
Ano ba yung level of experience that you are looking for right now, especially as of the moment?
As of the moment, we are open for career shifters, so this is very timely. So we accept students who are would like to change career, like from hardware to non-technical to technical. So but they will have to go through the boot camp, so they will be trained before they start with the actual practice. So experienced people, yes, we do accept, but right now we are open for entry level in these people who are trying to get into the IT industry.
Great, that's good to hear.
That's
So, alam nyo na yung mga andito ngayon. Alam nyo na. Okay, so, let me throw in our first question, Miss Ruth. No? So, being in industry for years now, what are the trends you see that would impact the career opportunities, specifically of career shifters today?
So right now, we've noticed for the past years that we have these people who wanted to shift to IT. Is that of course they are not updated to technological change, so they really have to upkeep themselves in terms of technology. They really have to self study, or they can also volunteer to other company who is offering internship program. So that's one factor, and of course one factor that affect this career shifters employee or professionals is that they really have to engage in the company and for the purpose of the company itself.
All right.
Yes.
So, guys, if you have questions, like if you have follow-up questions to our questions, feel free to type them in the comment section, okay? So, now's your chance. All right. So, are you also offering that ba Miss, or what are siguro specifically for solutions resource right now? You've mentioned na parang doing being involved, doing internships. So what are the current programs siguro? Maybe you could also share with us. What are the current initiatives or programs that Solutions Resource are doing na that could somehow impact or like that could offer opportunities to our career shifters?
Yeah, that's good. That's good question. No, right now we just finished our boot camp training, so our students just graduated this September 30. So we had like 10 students. So and they are now our employee rather. So what we offer on a yearly basis is that we conduct a boot camp training for the career shifters or for the newbies for 3 months. This is 3 months training.
All right. Yun. So are there any do you also accept interns po ba?
Yeah, yeah. We have partnered with other schools. So hindi ko na i-mention. So we have partnered schools from Luzon to Mindanao actually. So two of our interns and I think member of our interns they converted into bootcamp trainee, and then now they are our employee. They are from Mindanao.
Oh,
Danao
Bisaya.
School. We have in Luzon. Yes, we have also in Visayas, and they are our part of the team already. So we're happy. These
Galing,
are new
galing.
generations.
All right. Sige. Actually, we sige, just to just to give an idea of our to our viewers. So we have one question here from CJ. So, are you familiar po ba of the programming or stack or let's say the languages that usually ginagamit ni Solutions Resource?
I'm not so technical about the program development part. However, those basic program languages that they have taken from the program or from their colleges, we are also applying it to our dev team. So like Python, the UI UX, yeah, something to that an area. So normally we check the CVs of our student before we proceed with our interview. We make sure that the technical skills that we are looking for are there.
Hmm. All right. So, CJ, if you're maybe you could send a message na lang din to them, no? So that you would know kung ano
Yeah,
yung
that's
specific
technical. Yeah.
languages that they are using. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. Okay, so for this next this question, so related din to the first question, no? So how can a career shifter increase their chances of success in their job application despite having zero experience? No? So medyo they don't have the experience. So ano yung tips that you could give to them? Well, apart from siguro doing those the programs or internships. Kasi 'di ba usually sa mga companies, yung hinahanap talaga nila are people with
Experience.
experience.
Okay, for that matter, so the most important, thing that you have to consider when applying for zero experience is that, personally, this is my experience during the process when I interview students or applicants, is that they should have a positive mindset. So of course, before you begin with your process in joining the team, you have to be positive in terms of your interest in the company. Okay, of course, second, you should be, educated as well. You are technically knowledgeable on the position that you are applying for, regardless if you have experience or none. Of course, when during the process, you have to be very patient. Why? Kasi yung proseso ng hiring it will take time. So especially if the other applicants has already experience and you are zero, so we will have to to check whether if this student who has zero experience is really passionate about the job, then we may consider. So to compare with the other experience, so we also weigh in depending on the applicants.
Oh, that's good to hear. So in solutions resource, doesn't matter if my bachelor's degree or wala. Tama po ba?
It matters. It matters. Yeah. We of
Okay,
course,
okay.
or in the initial process of our hiring is that we check, of course, the program, the undergraduate program of the student, and we are also focusing on the experience that they have indicated in the resume.
So paano po kapag yung experience niya is hindi talaga siya related to not really related to the position that he is applying for. Let's say for example, becoming a programmer. He's a dentist before, ganun. Tapos nag-decide siya maging programmer.
Well, depende yun. For example, if he or she passed through the boot camp training and we were able to assess that he has the potential for the position, then we may consider.
So meaning they still have to go through the training.
Yeah,
Tama
yeah.
po
They
ba?
have to do the training. Kasi hindi mo siya pwedeng isabak sa isang labanan na wala siyang bala. Like that.
Makes sense.
Mm-mm.
Makes sense po. All right. Okay, let's check if we have some questions from our comment section. I'm not seeing anything. So we proceed with eto medyo our next question medyo technical in terms of applying. So any
Mhm.
suggestion kasi you mentioned we mentioned earlier na parang people are career shifters, no, they don't have any somehow an idea of what it's like applying in the tech industry. Ganun. So any suggestion po for writing an effective application letter and resume, or how can they prevent in making a mistake when drafting an application letter and resume?
Okay, so ito nga yung basic, no? This is really basic for everyone, especially for the entry level students who graduating students who wants to apply for a certain position in a company. First, you should know the basic format of writing a letter. So of course, you have to show the addressee or the salutation, the introduction, that's important, and of course you have to put the relevant information about your work history. And then of course you have to end the letter, or you have to close the letter that motivates, that motivates the recruiter to take action on your applications. That's very
Mm.
important. Kasi I'm not quite sure, no, if some of our applicants, we directly, request them for an appointment for the initial interview. And the intention letter, sometimes hindi pa siya dumadating, but nauuna na yung resume. So yung nakikita nila, it's more on they submit a resume without the cover letter. So yun siguro for the starters, so yung mga shifters, career shifters, so I would advise that you include the intention letter. So para malaman ng employer or ng recruiter what is your really intent for applying, your objective, and then you have to emphasize your qualities or your skills, your potentials to the company. And of course, kung ano yung may offer mo sa amin, for example, sa amin, or to the company that you are applying for. Wag yung
Uh,
ano, no, you and especially, actually, so this is very ano, no, very specific. I we do not encourage to to put the expected salary in the letter, kasi yeah, parang it's odd for us to reading that type of letter na meron na agad siyang expectation from the letter, and yet we have not processed the applicants.
all
Okay,
right.
that's, I think
There.
that's all it is. Oh,
Follow-up question lang po, Miss Ruth. So, in applying, gaano po ba kalaki yung impact ng, let's say, kasi 'di ba ito talaga yung first process when applying for a job, 'di ba? Your resume tsaka your application letter. So, gaano po ba kalaki yung impact ng application letter at saka ng resume when it comes to, let's say, applying, especially for a technical job?
it's huge. Malaki siya. Why? Kasi that's the first step for us to assess the applicants, to determine whether if this applicant is, fit to the company. And from looking at it, we would already know if the applicant will be a material to us, something to that effect.
So, parang ito yung magiging first impression ng company.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright. So, yun guys, take note of that. Make sure na take time, no? Take time to create your resume, no? And your application letter. Wag lang yung kukunin mo sa friend mo tapos ka-copy-paste mo. Baka yun yung
Yeah,
ginagawa ng
that's
iba.
right.
So, we have
Kasi
here
halata na
questions
siya.
from our
Yeah.
So, we have here questions from our viewers. So, ano po yung common misconceptions when applying for a tech job? So, like during the interview or screening process.
I think, based from my experience, is the inconsistencies of the applicant. So when they ask about the work history, about their experiences, does not meet the one that they have indicated in the resume, but when also they are being interviewed by the recruiter.
Alright. Ito po, we also have here, I think related din to sa kanina. So, do you recommend a career shifter to undergo a coding bootcamp? Well, na-mention naman na, especially in solutions resource, no, na you would really require para may bala sila. But there are also other options din naman, apart from doing bootcamp, there are also available resources. So the question here is, ano po yung recommended to undergo a bootcamp before applying to a tech company, or is it okay also to self study, or self study is enough to apply and get into a tech company?
I believe all the things that mentioned in the questions are applicable. So, but for a formal training, the highly recommended is really to undergo boot camp training. It's a plus that you will have to self-study kasi it's really readily available in the Google, in YouTube, the training in terms of programming languages that being used in the IT industry. So that's very important to consider that self-study, formal training is okay, both okay.
So, would you also be open to that, Miss Ruth? Like, they have not gone of a formal training, but upon application, they were able to prove na, or naipasa nila yung ano, yung let's say yung skills test ng company.
Actually, we have processes in terms of assessing the applicants. First is the initial interview, so it's a get to know about the applicant. The second phase is the technical interview. So we assign technical people to do the technical assessment for the applicant. So from there, we get the recommendation of the team, the technical team, to evaluate and to get their feedback about the applicant. So meron pa ring proseso. So when you indicated to the resume, yes, we consider. However, you will have to go through the process.
Yeah. So, and it depends and it varies po, no, for each company.
Yeah, yeah, depende.
Oh. Ito po question from CJ. So another question, salary-wise, how much does a career shifter or entry-level employee earn usually from the starting point, if that's okay to ask?
I I am skeptical to share that. So, medyo hesitant ako to answer that. However, for meron kang expectation for your salary for sure. So, and then you can also ask other developer or programmers about the salary, and maybe you could get an idea from there. But I cannot disclose how we give compensation to our people. But for you to get expect a good salary, I believe you should have the enough technical knowledge to be get into a good salary grade.
Exactly, no. So siguro if ano, ikaw mismo as an individual, confident ka that you will be able to deliver what it is asked from you. So I believe naman din the company would be very generous to compensate you well. Okay. So, ito po yung related to our question kanina about creating cover letters, no, or resume. So, what are some common mistakes to avoid po when making a cover letter? Ito.
Okay. I think na mention ko kanina, ang pinaka minsan medyo off to us as an HR practitioner is the when you indicate the irrelevant information about the position that you are applying for. So you make sure that you focus on your purpose, on your objectives in applying. So make sure that you are consistent with the information that you are, inputting in the document. So that's very important. So of course, I normally ask this to our applicants. So whenever they apply to us, I ask them if how they knew about our company. So are they familiar with the company's services or in location? What are the services that we are offering to the IT industry? That's also important. So I suggest to the newbies, to the career shifters, is that you do research about the company that you are applying for. That's important.
Yeah, oo. Para ma-feel din ng company na you're really interested, no,
Really
to
interesting.
in joining. Yeah. Okay. So, here's our next question. So, apart from the technical skill required in a role, so specifically for programmers or developers, so what other skills do you think would give a candidate the advantage to get a job in the tech industry?
Mhm. That's that's a very good question. No? So during the interview process, we assess our applicants in terms of learning or learning experience and adaptability skills. So when we say adaptability, of course, he has a skills in terms of willingness to join the team, engagement when necessary. Second is also the most important skills that we are looking for when every time we interview people or applicants is the communication skills. That's important. So ang suggestion ko for the applicants, for the newbies, is that when you are being interviewed, be consistent. If you wanna speak on your native language, so if it's Tagalog, then so be it. And if you wanna speak in English, then English. So para consistent yung flow ng pagsagot mo during the interview. Lastly, of course, we also look for a teamwork skills for our employee kasi that's very important. If they do not, if they don't engage to our team, to our people, medyo mahirap dalhin. So that's very important as well. Thank you.
There. So, communication and teamwork. Yeah, especially for developers, no, they're expected kasi to work
Yeah,
with a team
oo,
talaga.
exactly. Yeah.
Oo. Hindi
Just
pwede
may I
maging
add, no?
loner.
Oo, yeah. Most of our, kasi, mga developers natin, I believe in any industry then, is that sometimes they are introvert. So we really have to, to reach out to the people and then teach them how to be engaged in the team. So that's, we have to consider that.
Mm. All right. A follow-up question, Miss Ruth, for that, since you've mentioned about, very common parang stereotype description of ano no mga developers, mga introverts. So how do you handle what if you have this applicant na very magaling talaga siya? However, may problem siya with his communication skills, tapos not well, medyo nahihirapan siya to work with a team considering na mas comfortable siya being alone. So how do you handle those kinds of ano? And then well, very skillful naman talaga siya na as a dev. So how do you handle those kinds of applicants?
So actually, we have that kind of culture in our company. So what we do to that particular employee is that, as I've mentioned kanina, it's really we really have to reach out to say how are you, kamusta ka na, how's the work going. So it's a regular thing that we should do for that person na medyo introvert, mahiyain. And I think during our regular sessions or meetings, we should encourage them to engage in the meeting, to be involved in the company. So as you go along naman, it's nade-develop yun na nasi-shape natin yung personnel natin, yung mga employees natin through that way, through that process. So they should be shaped and developed through the session that we are doing, talking to them, mentoring, guiding, and then we really have to know kung ano na yung nangyayari sa team niya or sa task na ginagawa niya. That's why we have people on top of them to check, to monitor. So through that process, nagkakaroon na sila ng sense of social skills, nakikipag-usap na din sila, and sila na yung nag-initiate to reach out to us kapag merong concerns.
All
Yes,
right.
that's it.
So important na nagpe-play din ng important role yung environment ng company, no? How you handle the employees din. Okay. So, okay, let me check if we have questions from our viewers. Naubos na natin lahat kanina yung mga questions. Eto na lang po muna. Here po. Required po ba mag-English? Eto, very ano. Required po ba mag-English during the interview? So kasi di ba po sometimes mahirap mag-explain sa English if hindi ka fluent. But if Tagalog, nako-communicate po ng maayos yung message, answer or yung question.
That's very good. Regardless of the dialect, regardless of the language, for as long as you can deliver, that's fine. Kung kaya mong masabi consistently with the series of thoughts na maayos, that's fine regardless of your language. Kung mag-Tagalog ka, mag-English, but add on yung consistently you speak in English. However, hindi siya mandatory naman. Hindi siya mandatory.
Oh. No, kasi yun yung ano, yun yung parang very ano na kapagka during interview, yun yung parang nag-a-add ng kaba sa mga
Yes,
applicants.
yes.
Kasi ano, I have
Totoo.
to speak in English. So, parang yung nangyayari is that nahihirapan silang i-explain or mag-answer. So, yung ending, they would have a really bad performance during the application.
Exactly, exactly. So I once experienced that. So meron kasi tayong regional barrier no in terms of the dialect. So they will suggest, ma'am, is it okay if I speak English na lang po? Kasi if I speak Tagalog, hindi po yun ang native language ko po talaga. Yun, they also do that. Kasi minsan sasabihin mo, pag inconsistent na sila sa English, um, sasabihin mo mag-Tagalog na lang, pero iba pala yung language nila. So you will have to tell them na lang, oh sige, okay, you can do the by language or by dialects na lang.
Yun,
Yeah.
okay lang pala yun, no?
For as long as you can deliver well, no? Yun yung importante. Baka kasi nagtatagalog ka tapos nawawala ka na sa direction of the interview. So, hindi na rin maganda yon. You make sure that if you want to speak in Tagalog, you can deliver it well properly in the during the process.
Yep. And maybe also no, the applicant could also inform the interviewer ahead of time na is it okay ba if I speak in this language kasi ito yung comfortable ako.
Yes, yes, that's
Right.
that's fine.
Okay, so related pa rin po sa ano sa interview or applying. So any advice on how to boost an applicant's self-assurance when applying for a job? Especially na this is very ano common kahit hindi sa tech industry. This applies to all industry. Na kapag whenever you go into another job, andun pa rin yung parang hindi ko to kaya. So, any advice po how to boost the applicant's self-assurance?
Okay, so siguro before ka sumabak dun sa interview, make sure you are ready, you are confident enough to face the recruiter. So normally naman yung mga HR assistant, they will request for an interview or a schedule with you. So you give yourself a timeline whether if you're ready tomorrow or ready ka pa sa next 2 days pa. So, make sure you establish that. So, para ready ka, so you can also prepare, you can also do research of the common questions na tinatanong during the interview. And of course, after doing that, you should have instill, nakagather ka na ng confidence before the interview. And during the interview, you should be comfortable talking to the recruiter. So that's very important. Yung chill ka lang. Meron namang mga recruiters or HR na pinaparelax muna nila yung applicants. O sige, hinga ka muna. So hindi ka naman, so this is not a war. Kumbaga, this is an assessment stage. So bibigyan ka ng opportunity to share, to sell yourself, of course. So kaya be ano lang no, maging confident kayo, maging relax lang kasi hindi naman ito labanan kumbaga. So it's between you, the recruiter, and yourself. Of course, what I mentioned kanina, you have to really know how to sell yourself. That's the thing. Para sure ka na nabenta mo ng maayos yung sarili mo. Plus, you have to be very honest with your work history, with your education. Kasi kung nyari masyado mong na-exaggerate yung sharing mo of your background, of your experiences, and then when you are being asked to do an actual, hindi mo pala yun ginagawa. So medyo medyo off yun sa atin. And lastly, of course, to making sure na meron ka ng plus, ito nga like kong sinasabi, you have to get to know the industry that you are, applying for. That's important.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
dapat familiar talaga yung mga applicants. Hindi lang yung,
Yes.
apply ako dito, apply.
Yes, that's right.
Eto po, we have here another question. So usually di po ba parang yung nagto-throw ng questions during interview are mga interviewers, no? So
Mhm.
parang ito yung nami-miss out ng mga applicants na they are allowed pala to ask questions to the recruiters also. So ano po ba yung good questions na puwedeng ibato ng mga applicants to the recruiters during interview? Siguro ano yung mga what not to ask and what to ask during the interview?
Okay, that's nice. Actually, na-experience ko siya. So, anything that you want to know about the company, so that's the last part. So, kung wala na akong tanong, I asked the applicant, so if you have any questions for us or for me. So, one thing that I've encountered, and which is very, ano, no, useful for the employees as well, is that what is the culture of your company? So yung getting to know, gusto niyang malaman kung how what we do in the company, how we take care of the people. So yun yung mga interesting facts na gusto nilang malaman. So that you can ask that Miss, what's the name of the student? Is na
Haifa.
Haifa. So Haifa, you can ask that. So what is the culture of the company? So how do you take care of your people? So aside from asking the salary rate, no? So you ask the culture, you ask how we take care of the people. Kanina, as I mentioned nga. So and then, of course, from there, malalaman mo na kung paano kami mag-work with our employees. That's also important. And then sometimes they ask kung ano yung mga social activities that we provide for our people. So I normally share to them that we conduct mga lunch get together, dinner or meet and greet with the boss, and then we normally have quarterly. I believe we have quarterly dinner with everyone. Kamustahan kasi galing tayo sa pandemic, and then we really wanted to re-engage ourselves to our people through that kamustahan physically, social activities, mga kahit online we do activities, we provide games for the people, we give rewards dun sa mga active na mga empleyado. So that's we do. This is the thing that I share to our applicants.
Alright. So, paano naman po yung mga ano, questions na hindi advisable i-ask?
Don't ask personal questions. That's it.
Yun lang. Basta you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
ask any question about the
Yes.
company and that includes the salary, tama?
Yes, yes, yes. But kasi kapag if you ask personal question, medyo off. Why? Kasi it's not related to work.
Mhm.
Maybe you can do that when you are already hired. So you
Kapag
are you
medyo
are
close
building
na.
relationship. Yeah, you are building interpersonal relationship with your colleagues. That's fine. Pero when you are just an entry level or on the first phase of the interview, I do not encourage you to do that.
Alright. There you have it. So, another question po from Joe. So, how much likely do you accept career shifters? Actually, na-mention na to, no? But siguro just a comparison. Or newbies? Or are there more a bias on those who are already working on the field? So, ito yung parang one of the things na parang kinakatakot ng career shifters, di ba? Na, wala akong chance dyan kasi ano I don't have the experience. Or siguro, is there a prioritization po ba, especially with solutions resource, when hiring developers who are career shifters and who really graduated from that specific field?
Um, that's a good question, no? Sometimes kasi, even if new entry level pa lang yung bata, pero skilled na siya during his student times because of the training, seminar, plus meron silang feasibility study or thesis na ginagawa. And I believe merong mga estudyante na they are skilled enough to be accepted in the formal work. So, pwede yon. So, kasi we assess naman the students, and then during the interview, lumalabas naman yung skills nila. And even during the next phase of their interview sa technical, nadidetermine namin whether the student or the new applicant is really skilled. And for the, of course, advantage yung meron kang experience na. So it's a plus already. So just make sure that even if you're a plus to the company because of your experience, dapat mamimit niya rin yung requirement ng company like to us. So minsan merong experience and pero yung old programming language ang alam niya lang. And however, our requirements is really the new one, the updated programming code that we are, using for the projects. So
Yeah. So
we
siguro
really.
regardless if it's a career shifter, no?
Mm,
So
mm, mm.
regardless if it's a career shifter, it all boils down to the skills, no, that you would be able to
Yes, yes,
contribute to
yes.
the company.
Mm-mm.
All right. So another question from Kenon. So is it common po ba for the recruiter or interviewer to give you a sample code to solve or explain during the interview?
Yes. So for me, I do the initial interview. So I just assess the skills. But in terms of the technical assessment or yung thorough determination of your technical knowledge, we do that to the next phase for the interview assessment, or yeah, the technical interview assessment. So yun, yes, we request our applicants to do an actual, presentation of the codes that or to solve.
Yeah, standard ata yun eh kapag ka tech
Yeah, yeah,
company.
dadaan ka talaga. Aside from the psychological test, you will have to pass through the technical.
Mhm. All right. Eto po. Based on your experience from hiring people, so how many percent of the required qualifications stated in the job posting should an employee possess? Ito, di ba usually kapag sa mga job postings, ang taas ng mga qualifications. So, um, ano po, how many percent po ba yung required qualifications stated in the job posting an employee should possess?
I believe an 80% will do. Why? Kasi the remaining 20 can be trained to our applicants. So, meron naman mga ibang applicants na nag apply sila na gusto lang nila doon sa position, meron lang silang few experiences. What we do, we consider them. And then during the process of the interview, doon namin na evaluate whether he is fit or not. Yes.
Alright. So, not necessarily po talaga no na tingnan yung qualifications tapos dapat naka-check to lahat bago ako ma-qualify. Alright. Eto po. Is it okay to use internet or Google to search while doing the code exam?
Oh, of course, we don't encourage that. Kasi paano ka namin matitest if you have, this basis, or how I shall call this in the better terms for this, is that meron kang kinokopyahan. So I don't believe na that's okay. So even in your personal, perspective, I don't agree on that. Kasi during the actual work with us, hindi ka na pwedeng mangopya. You will do your own thing, di ba? So, hindi ka na pwedeng yung meron ka pang ginagayahan, or you follow the YouTube instruction. Of course, you have to do it on your own.
Yes, makes
It's a
sense,
test
makes
as
sense.
well. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we have been discussing about no the things na our applicants should do, parang yung mga do's and so ito naman po question is what are the indicators that the applicants are likely to fail their application? So for example, at first interview pa lang, parang they would know, or mga siguro anong term nito, mga red flags. Yung mga na they would not be able to wala na akong chance for this for this job.
Nakakalungkot. Nakakalungkot yun actually sa part na ng HR on how you will, you know, discredit the person. So, ang first signal doon, mga iha, mga newbies natin, is that if the interview is very short. Yeah, if the
Oh.
interview is very short, ibig sabihin, walang interest yung employer sa sa'yo. Kasi nakita na yung resume mo nun for sure. So na-review na, and then yung hinahanap namin is hindi na kita doon sa document. So most likely na initial evaluate ka na on that part. So, yon. And then of course, yung confidence ng isang applicant during the introduction. Of course, we will ask you, can you introduce yourself and share a little bit about your work history? And then if you're inconsistent to that phase, medyo yun, medyo dun pa lang alam na namin whether to go or not to go.
Oh, ganun po pala
Yan.
yun. So, by short interview or long, ano po ba kasi yung parang average para they would know, 30 minutes mataas na yun. That's it. 10 minutes yun na yung red flag.
I think yung longest interview namin halos 45 minutes kasi nagkaroon na ng interaction, the interest of the applicants na nagkaroon kami ng interest dun sa ni-share ng applicants, and then the applicants is very, curious about the company. Interested talaga siya to get in. So marami rin siyang tanong, may tanong din kami, and then yeah, maybe 30 to 45, mahaba na yun, although it's a different, process na rin. Pero pag yung red flag like 5 to 10 minutes na natapos na tayo, yun, siguro. That's the sad part kapag very short yung interview. We normally, end the interview immediately. Para naman hindi na din maubos yung effort ng bata or ng applicants, hindi na masyado ma-consume, and he can move forward.
Yeah, kasi 'di ba po minsan ano po, there are companies na will not get back to you tapos ikaw mag-e-expect ka, ano kayang result ng application ko or matagal magbigay ng feedback. So, at least you know na, okay, kapag ka-short yung interview, move on na tayo.
Yes, oo. But you will know to yourself naman if you are accepted or not.
Yeah, opo. Okay, so we will still be catering to siguro last two questions if you still have, but we'll proceed with our this on our part. This will be the second to the last. But again, for our viewers, if you still have questions, we can still cater to the last two. Okay, ito po. So, what are the important things to remember when looking for a job as a graduating or as a career shifter?
Yes, miss, sorry, come again. I'm sorry, nawala ata ako.
There. Ito po. What are the most important things to remember when looking for a job as a graduating student or as a career shifter? Ito naman po, looking for a job.
Okay. So, of course, you have to determine the company that you want to apply. Or you have to determine the field or the industry na gusto mo talaga na mag-fit ka. So second, you have also to know if you are technically knowledgeable about the job that you are applying for. So doon kasi sa mga first entry level natin, so if they are programmers or BS Computer Science, so alam na nila kung saan sila pupunta. So just make sure that when you document your resume, you put the information about yourself, about the experience or the knowledge that you know about the programming. You have to be very, consistent. So make sure you are consistent with all the information. Ganun lagi yung titingnan natin. And then of course, when you are asked about to walk through about your resume, you make sure kabisado mo yung mga information na sinulat mo sa resume. That's very, very important to remember. Alam mo ang nakasulat sa resume. Kasi simula sa pangalan, sa educational attainment, sa internship program, sa work experience, and other skills na hinahanap ng isang recruiter, dapat alam mo on how you will deliver it to the interviewer. That's the tip I could give to the newbies.
Yeah, honesty is still the best policy.
Yes.
All right. So there, as much as we want to cater to more questions, but our time is very limited this morning. So we go over to our pinaka-last po, Miss Ruth. So, what are your final tips to our career shifters or kahit yung mga graduating students, no, who are about to enter in the IT industry?
Okay, so um, you have to determine what you really want to the field that you want to get in. Number two, you have to pick up the roles na alam mong yun ang gusto mo, that you are passionate about. So dapat yun ang gustong-gusto mo, yun ang interest mo. And then if you want to clarify if this really what you want, you can also talk to other people, to ask whether if you fit or not to this type of job role. And then of course, I would like to advise you to get a mentor para alam mo yun, mag-guide ka. Especially, meron mga newbies na very specific in terms of, pagpasok nila sa professional world. They're very specific, they're very sensitive on the process na gusto nilang malaman kung paano sila to make sure that they will be hired. So I advise that you get a mentor that will guide you on how to apply, how to get in, how to be accepted in the company. That's very important as well. And plus, of course, you have to get a hands-on experience. So yun naman yung pinaka-importante. You are experienced, you are technically knowledgeable on the role that you want to apply, or you are knowledgeable on the things that you want to do in the industry, or in any other industry. So that's it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Ruth. No? So, very agree on that mentor. So, mentor naman doesn't really have to be someone na parang you hire, you get, or ganun. Kahit
No,
yung
no.
friend mo, pwede mo siya maging mentor, di ba?
Yeah, yeah. A teacher. Your teacher in computer science or in your
Yeah,
IT school, that is
agree.
friend, experienced friend. So they can do mentoring for you.
True. There are people naman who are willing to help. Sometimes you just have to ask.
Yes,
Di ba
that's
po?
right.
All right. Thank you so much po, Miss Ruth. So before
Thank
we end, is
you.
there anything you'd like to announce, share, or to our viewers right now? Any ganap po natin sa Solutions Resource?
Okay, so thank you for this opportunity, by the way, Miss Isay, no, to share our practice to this group. And I'd like to to share that our company is looking for people like you, huh? So feel free to reach out to us. Nawala ba ako, Miss Isa? Sorry.
Yes po, opo, opo.
Okay,
Nawala po
okay.
slide.
Sorry. So again, I'll give my email address to Miss Isai for you, if in case you are interested to join our team. So please, okay, so you can apply anytime. So, of course, actually, yun nga, as I mentioned kanina, we just finished our boot camp. So we already have new people in the team. And then we are also looking for other applicants to join in our team this year. So if anyone who would like to, who are interested, feel free to email us. And then, of course, as kanina, as advice, you put a cover letter. So for us to impress, and then the resume. And then I believe after this session natin, meron naman kayo napulot na mga pieces for you to apply in becoming a professional in the IT industry. So we have our activity right now kasi katatapos lang ng, I think we have 3 to 4 months bootcamp training. We just finished and they already graduated last September 30. And now we have an upcoming event. So I believe we will be joining the SMX Expo event there. So for the IT industry, and then of course we have meet and greet dinner with our boss is arriving soon. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's our culture in the company. So we do that. Social activities is very important to engage with our team.
All right.
Thank
Sounds fun.
you.
Sounds fun. Thank you so much again, Miss Ruth. Thank you so much for your time and for being with us. And hopefully this will not be the only and the last session that we will be having with you also. Thank you so much once
Yeah,
again, Miss
thank
Ruth.
you.
All right. So there you have it. I hope you got some insightful tips and ideas, no, from Miss Ruth, especially for those who our viewers right now who are about to enter the tech industry there. And again, as I've mentioned earlier, so baka may mga interested pa here to pursue a career in tech. So we have an upcoming or an ongoing StackTrek full stack bootcamp. So for those who would like to pursue a career in tech, this might be the first step for you. So please watch this video.
Everyone. If today you are very interested to pursue a career as a coder in the IT industry, but isn't confident with your skills or with having zero or minimal experience, then this opportunity is for you. In the next few minutes, you'll learn about the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp that trains you to become a job-ready programmer in just 4 months. So as you can see here, you have two options. The first one is the co-living bootcamp. This is the first of its kind here in the Philippines as it combines both learning and lifestyle into one exciting and rewarding experience. It means you will be living in one building with other boot campers, and you will be able to leverage all of the amenities and the social experience of learning with other boot campers. And then the other option is digital. It is virtual. That means you can take this boot camp anywhere. By anywhere, it means if you are in the province, then you can take this boot camp at the comforts of your home. Or if you enjoy traveling, then you can also take the boot camp while you are traveling. Now, for you to be able to understand and get a picture of what exactly are we going to do when we enter the boot camp. So let's assume that you already applied and earned a slot in the boot camp. Here in the next few minutes, you can also imagine and also experience virtually what it is like, what you will be doing, and what will be the experience like learning with StackTrek. So the first thing that you do in your day is have the daily discussions with your trainers and peers. So since you will be building real world applications, always remember that in this boot camp, we focus on your practical skills, the skills that you can really use and immediately practice. And in your daily discussions with your trainer, you will be covering various topics. And the topics that you will be covering will depend based on what module you are in during that day or during that week. So remember, you are building real world applications, and the benefit here for you, especially if you have zero experience yet, is that at the end of the boot camp, you will already have a bunch of projects that can showcase your skills based on the real world applications that you already built. So the next thing that you do after your daily discussions with your trainers and peers is that you now go on and do and complete your hands-on coding modules. It also covers advanced curriculum. We want to focus on the topics and the skills that is relevant today, not relevant 5 years ago, but relevant today and in the future as well. So, after you go through the module, do the exercises, learn the things that you need to learn, once you hit a bump or you're having a difficulty, the platform or the bootcamp has a one-on-one live trainer's capability. And what exactly is this? So in just one click, when you are having a problem with the exercises that you're doing or the project that you are doing, in just one click, you get connected to the next available trainer, and then you will be able to chat with that trainer immediately. So you can share your screen with the trainer, you can code together with your trainer, and you can discuss with the trainer with the challenges that you are having. As you can see, it's quite different because as you code together with your trainer, it feels like it's very interactive and it's very personal because the trainer is focused on you as you try to learn that specific skill or try to resolve that specific challenge. So here we would like to show you what it is like. So here we have an example of a trainer named John, and John is talking with his trainer and trying to consult the problem that he is having. So on the right side, there is that chat. And then at the middle is you can see the code that they are working or coding together. And this is an example of one of the projects from one of our boot campers. So they are building real world applications so that at the end of the boot camp, again, you will have a portfolio ready that showcases your acquired skills. But one of the important things that we also would like to highlight is that in this bootcamp, it's not just about the technologies that you learn. At the start of the bootcamp, you are going to focus on the module that builds you your core foundation. And having a strong coding foundation allows you to learn different technologies faster. The full stack bootcamp has demo days. So we have demo days each month, and what I will show you is one of the websites built by one of the programmers, and that he was able to build this website in just 1 month in the bootcamp. So as you can see, even if you have zero background, the bootcamp is beginner friendly enough for you to understand and be able to build websites even if you have zero background. In the StackTrek bootcamp, the platform that you will be using is the most advanced training technology here in the Philippines. And the big difference here, we are more focused and having you do more coding hours. If you do more hands-on, you are able to apply immediately the skills that you just learned. The more you apply the skills, the more you realize the things that you need to improve on. And as you learn and apply these skills, you get better and better at it. There you have two options, the co-living and the digital. Digital is virtual, so you can take this one anywhere. And co-living is that you will be living with other boot campers and learning at the same time. Now, we would like to add more details on what the co-living is like. So the co-living boot camp, you don't have to worry about anything else but to learn and experience life. You don't have to worry about spending for food anymore. It is already covered. Also, the accommodation is also included. The good thing about it is that beyond just learning, of course, we need to live our lives. There is a rooftop wherein if you need a breather, you can just be there, get some air. There are lounges that you can chill around. So in the co-living boot camp, it's really different than just a typical boot camp. You learn because that's the main thing that you want to do in the boot camp. But also there are in-person sessions wherein you get inspired from people from the industry. In the co-living boot camp, there are barbecue nights, movie nights, and weekend parties that you can be part of and socialize. You can also leverage on the amenities and gym program. This is what it looks like to be part of the co-living bootcamp. It's very different. You learn, but at the same time, you have fun. So the co-living bootcamp is situated mainly around BGC and Makati. So you can imagine that if you want to also go out, BGC is just 5 minutes walking distance. And the benefits of being part of the boot camp is that we have job partners wherein we negotiated with them that if you are a graduate of the boot camp, you will have at least 25 to 30K starting salary. And this is quite high considering that you have zero experience and you are still starting out. So one of the key benefits here at StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp is that more than just a learning, we help you accelerate your career. So don't worry about having zero experience. Don't worry about being a non-coder and you want to enter the industry. Because if you finish and be a graduate of the bootcamp, you already have guaranteed job interviews. And if you graduate at the top 30, then you have guaranteed job offers already. There's no stopping you in getting the IT industry. As long as you are with the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp, then the opportunities for you is beyond just learning. It goes over to you landing your first job and landing a highly paying job as well. So here, why IT? These are just the published rates of IT today. If you have 1 to 4 years, you will be earning on average 45K monthly. If with 5 years, you will be earning around 80K. As you level up, let's say to senior manager, you can even go to 172,000 for your monthly salary. Once you are able to enter the IT industry, the first step is the hardest, but once you are already in, over opportunities are left and right. So you really have high earning potential once you are able to enter the IT industry. And with that one, if you are interested, you can apply now. The link is here below. It's bit.ly/StackTrek Bootcamp application. And if you have questions, then feel free to find us on Facebook. You can message us there. And we hope that the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp is one of the opportunities that you will leverage on as you enter the IT industry and land your first tech job. And with that one, thank you so much, everyone, and have a good day.
All right, so there you have it, our StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp. So once again, if you don't know yet how or where to start your tech career journey, so our StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp might be something for you. And with that one, so if you have any questions related to our bootcamp, simply message us at fb.com/StackTrek. So visit our official Facebook page and message us to know more about our full stack bootcamp. So considering that you have joined us this morning, so apart from pursuing a career in tech, if you would also want to practice your programming skills, we have an ongoing programming competition which is Stack League. You can simply create an account for free at stackleague.com. So we have year-round cash prizes, tech job opportunities, thousands of giveaways, tech trainings, and nationwide media recognition. Again, this is for free and you can practice your programming skills. Okay? And this is not just the event that we will be having for StackTrek. We will still be having more events in the future. And to get the latest updates, visit us at fb.com/stacktrek/events to be updated of our upcoming events. And that's it for our career session this morning. Thank you so much all for joining us this morning. So once again, message us, follow and message us on Facebook if you have any questions about our full stack bootcamp. And we hope to see you on our upcoming sessions in StackTrek. Once again, thank you so much in behalf of StackTrek and Solutions Resource. Thank you so much. This has been Isa, your host. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.